Welcome to the AI Daily Deep Dive. Now, this is a bit special. Everything you're about to hear, the research, the insights, even these words, was actually generated entirely by AI. We're focusing on the top 5 AI news stories from today, Saturday, May 10th, 2025.
Right.
Our mission is pretty straightforward. Quickly get to the heart of these developments, understand what they are, and figure out why they might matter to you. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. It's quite something, isn't it? An AI analyzing the AI world. Let's see what's making waves.
Okay, first up, Pope Leo XIV. His inaugural address seems to have put AI front and center. Looks like the Vatican is taking this very seriously, right from day one of his papacy.
Yeah, definitely. He identified AI as a major challenge for humanity. He really emphasized the church's responsibility, to think about its impact on really fundamental things.
Like what specifically?
Things like human dignity, justice, the future of work. And he drew this really interesting parallel to the Industrial Revolution.
Oh, that's a powerful comparison.
It is, suggesting we're at a similar kind of turning point, societally, driven by tech.
Makes sense. The Industrial Revolution changed everything, society, jobs. You wonder what the AI version looks like.
Exactly. And Pope Leo was clear that the Church's social teachings, they'll need to adapt to respond to these, new realities. He also mentioned sticking with Pope Francis' reforms, that inclusive approach.
So continuity there, but with a specific focus now on AI ethics.
Precisely. It's not just a throwaway line. It signals this is a core concern for a huge global institution, right as new leadership steps in. Pretty significant.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Something maybe more tangible. Meta's AI smart glasses, the ones with Ray-Ban, they've certainly stirred up some debate.
Well, they have, yeah.
All
It's that classic tension, isn't it? Really cool tech versus, privacy worries and what it means for society.
So what's the cool tech part? What can they actually do?
Well, the key things are voice activation, so it's hands-free, and real-time info via Meta AI, translations are like identifying an object you're looking at.
Wow, okay.
And, of course, direct links to social media. Facebook, Instagram, straight from the glasses.
Right. So essentially a wearable AI-powered computer on your face. What are the main worries people have?
A big one is just how, normal they look, the discrete design.
Yeah.
That leads to fears about covert recording, surveillance.
But isn't there a light or something?
There is, yeah, an LED indicator. But people question how effective that really is at letting others know they're being recorded.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole issue of data. Unauthorized collection, how it's stored, how it's used.
That Harvard student demo comes to mind.
Exactly. That incident where facial recognition was apparently used to get personal info really amplified those privacy concerns. It sparked a much bigger conversation about, are we normalizing constant monitoring?
And regulators, are they stepping in?
We are seeing some response. Like the Irish Data Protection Commission, they're pushing for stricter compliance with data laws. But more broadly, it's fueling this discourse about balancing innovation with, ethical responsibility.
So needing clear privacy rules, transparency about data.
Exactly. Transparent data practices, inclusive regulations that actually keep up. It's a tough balancing act.
Okay, from cutting-edge wearables, let's jump way back in time. Story number 3, AI deciphering a 2,000-year-old scroll. That sounds like something out of a movie.
It really does. It's pretty incredible. This scroll, Furtick, 172. It's from Herculaneum, carbonized by Vesuvius, basically unreadable for centuries.
Right, totally charred. How did they manage it?
Through, combination of advanced AI and really high-resolution imaging, they essentially managed to virtually unwrap the scroll.
Virtually unwrap. That's amazing. What did they find inside?
It turns out it's a philosophical text by Philodemus, an Epicurean philosopher. The title is On Vices and Their Opposite Virtues and Whom They Are and About What.
Wow. So ancient philosophy recovered.
Yeah, it delves into Epicurean ideas about virtue and, practical happiness.
And this is a first, right? Getting this much detailed title, author from a sealed scroll using these methods.
Exactly. It's a major breakthrough. It came out of the Vesuvius Challenge, actually. The team involved Sean Johnson, researchers from Würzburg. They won a pretty hefty prize.
So this AI tech could unlock more from places like the Villa of the Papyri.
That's the hope. The villa was this huge ancient library. This really shows the potential of AI and imaging to, reveal knowledge we thought was lost. It's quite exciting for historians and classicists.
Absolutely. Okay, story 4 brings us back to the present and into the legal world. Character.ai arguing for First Amendment protection for its chatbot outputs. This feels complicated.
It is, definitely. It comes up in the context of a really tragic case, a wrongful death lawsuit involving a teenager.
Hmm.
Character.ai's core argument is basically that what their chatbots generate text, voice, should count as protected speech.
Under the First Amendment, how does that work if there's no human speaker in the traditional sense?
Well, their angle is interesting. They're using a listener's rights argument. They say holding them liable would violate the user's right to receive and interact with the chatbot's output, which they claim is protected speech.
So it's about the user's right to hear it rather than the AI's right to say it.
That's the crux of it.
Yeah.
But the counter-argument is pretty strong. Does AI-generated text, without actual human intent behind it, really qualify as speech in the legal meaning?
Right. Is there expressive intent?
Exactly. There's a concern this listener's rights idea could be sort of a backdoor way to get First Amendment protection where maybe it shouldn't apply because machines lack that human intent. There's case law, like the Moody case, that touches on this need for human expression.
So this case could really set a precedent for how we treat AI-generated content legally.
Oh, absolutely. It raises fundamental questions about speech rights in the age of AI, a really important one to watch.
Okay, finally, our fifth story. Martin Ford, the futurist. He wrote Rise of the Robots, warning about job losses from AI. Now his view seems to be evolving.
That's right. His earlier work definitely highlighted the risk of, significant job displacement, especially for middle-skill jobs, because of AI and automation.
But now he's saying something different, or more nuanced.
Yeah, in a recent piece, he's painted a more complex picture. He still acknowledges the potential long-term disruption, for sure. But he's observing that right now, AI isn't actually causing the massive unemployment he and others maybe anticipated initially.
So what's it doing instead?
His observation is that AI's current role is often more about augmenting human work, assisting workers, automating the routine stuff, rather than wholesale replacement.
Right, so AI as a tool, a helper, rather than just a replacement.
Pretty much. Think AI helping with research, drafting emails, handling basic customer queries, freeing up humans for the more complex, strategic, or maybe creative parts of the job.
Okay, that makes sense for now. But he's still cautious about the future.
Oh, definitely. He hasn't completely changed his tune on the long-term risks. He still stresses we need proactive measures, things like reskilling programs, stronger social safety nets to prepare for what might still come down the line.
So the reality on the ground currently seems more collaborative, humans and AI working together, even if the future is uncertain.
That seems to be his current take. It's a good reminder that these big tech shifts, they often unfold in more complicated, less straightforward ways than we first predict.
Okay, so that's our AI Daily Deep Dive for today. We covered Pope Leo XIV, framing AI as a key challenge, the ongoing debate around Meta's smart glasses, and privacy.
The incredible use of AI to read ancient history from the Herculaneum scrolls, the tricky legal questions about AI speech from character.ai.
And Martin Ford's updated, more nuanced take on AI's current impact on jobs, moving maybe from replacement to augmentation, at least for now.
It's quite a range, isn't it? From the Vatican to ancient Rome to Silicon Valley courtrooms and the future of work, all in one day's AI news.
It really is. So, as you think about these 5 stories, the high-level ethics, the everyday tech privacy, unlocking the past, defining speech, predicting our economic future, what larger patterns or maybe big questions about where AI is taking us stand out most to you? Definitely something to chew on.
A lot to process, for sure.
Thanks for joining us for this AI Daily Deep Dive.